Steve from Custom Table Tennis, and we've been asked several times why haven't we done any Victas Matsushita blades, and to be fair, we don't get them in that often. So we're going to have a closer look. Made in Japan. Let's have a look at the boxing first. You got all your information on your box there. It's a nice box. It'll pack well, not too much information on it. But we know they're made in Japan and we know it's a high quality item. So let's have a look at the Matsushita. This is the defensive version. So this is the slowest. There's 4, possibly even 5 different versions, but really you can tell when it says MIG, that's made in Japan. It's a defensive blade. We think it's an anti-grey outer. There's not much of a disclosure of what the actual woods are. They're keeping it a closely guarded secret. You can see it's a 5-ply, it's wood. There's no carbon in there. It's going to be the softest, and it's also going to be the thinnest. I've got templates. I got a template of it, so I can tell you the size. It's a 155 by 165, so it's a classic defensive shape. But what people are more interested in, as we compare it with the Nittaku, is the handle. So what we'll do, we'll do the handle first. We'll do the thickness. It should be around about 5mm thick. It's the thinnest of them all. Yeah, look at that, look. You're virtually on 5mm. So classic defensive blades. It's going to be all about the feel. Around the edges, it's absolutely stunning. They do say that they are hand finished. That's nice and flush. Each different one has got its own colourway. Says on it 5-ply wood defensive blade. And it's a really, and then you've got your logos on either side. It's a really is a nice quality thing. Round about in the UK, £130 mark. We've got that at the bottom there. Beautiful blade, as I say, it's all polished up and what have you. I would probably, even though that's sanded down very flat, I would probably just put a very thin coat of water-based acrylic on there. I would skim it over. I'd hardly put anything on it. You'd probably get away with it, but you might pull fibres out when you're changing rubbers. I certainly wouldn't want to put a glue sheet on here and then rip it off. You never know. It's a fairly soft wood. So that's the first one. What I'll do before I actually do the comparison between the two, we'll get the other one out of the box. Looks like that they've wrote on the actual weight of this one. Let's have a look at this one. So boxing, not much on there. We know it's made in Japan. There's a bit of writing on the side there. It's not going to be relevant to anybody in the UK unless you're fluent Japanese. Boxing, very similar packaging. We know this one is what the classic construction is. This we've probably done this before in the past. You can see it's a hinoki outer, and it's also we've got carbon layers in there. So it's kiri, carbon and hinoki. Beautiful thing. They really are very nice. But this is a bigger blade, and what we can do now, as I say, I've got the templates, so we can see it's the Nittaku Shake Defense. It's more conducive for somebody. You can defend and block and muck people around with your long pimples with this, or if you're just a chopper and you've got thin reverse rubbers on there, but you can see it's significantly bigger. It's 161 by 166, and what I particularly like about this one, and I think if you are prone to catching your bat on the table, you've got this extra bit here. It's wider. I would say it's going to be a little bit more durable, but then the defensive one is the classic defensive shape. We'll have a look at the thickness of this one. Should be around about 5mm. Yeah, look, there's nothing much between them at all. Weight wise, we haven't done the weight. We can have a look at the weights now. That does say 76 on the box, so we're assuming that could be round about 76.9. So there you go. So I would suspect that the bigger one's actually going to be lighter. And 82.8. So there's not much in it. There's not going to be much in it. You're not going to be worrying too much about that. But the two beautiful blades. Which one would I choose? I don't know. I'd have to try them both. We're actually going to we're developing a blade for one of the top players in the country who plays this sort of style. I know he's used this one in the past, and he's a chop blocker, and they do say that you get lots of effect from the inoki outer, but the anigray is a bit softer, so this one would be a classic off the table defensive blade, as the name suggests. It's the slowest one of the series. I think they're just both beautifully well made. You're not going to get much, no logos in here, so they keep it simple. This has been around. This is the generation 3, but the original one's been around best part of 40 years. You've just got that used to be pinned on there, but with the last generation, but now it's just stuck on. But to be fair, when we re-rubber them, that we always see that intact. It doesn't come off, so we think it's well stuck on there. Whereas your Victas, it's inset in there. Two nice blades. Which would you choose? Let us know what you think. Would you go for the lighter? Would you go for the hinoki? Would you go for the anigray? I haven't got a ball there to do the bounce. Can you pass us a ball? We'll just do a little bounce test, and then you can listen to the pitch. So we've got the. This is gonna be your slowest one, I would imagine. Yeah, and also you've got your carbon layers on there. But they're both beautifully made, well made. Somebody was asking, saying, "Oh, you don't do any Victas?" Well, they were TSP, weren't they? And then the changed branding, and they're now known as Victas. But they're under the TSP, which is Tonomura Sporting Products umbrella. Been around for years. The original ones were Butterfly, and then I don't know when it was, but I think he jumped camp several years ago, and no association with the Butterfly ones. I tell you what I haven't done, I've just nicely remembered, because what people were wanting to know was the handle. So let's have a look at this one first. So on the width, we've got 28.58 on the width that way, and then we've got 22.25. So this is the slimmest handle. So I do remember this one's a bit thicker. Yeah, so you're getting up to sort of the 30 wide there, and then actually slimmer that way. So if you look at it another way, you've basically got 1.5 millimeters wider that way, but you're slimmer that way. But there's not a great deal between the two. If you are a twiddler, you're going to be crikey, I wouldn't know which one I was going to. I would possibly, me, because I prefer a bigger handle, I would probably go with the NSD, Nittaku Shake Defense. But two beautiful blades, both made in Japan. Quality is exceptional. You're not going to get a duff one of these. So there we go. We said we'd do one when we got one in, when we got a Victas in, and there they are together. Two beautiful blades. Steve from Custom Table Tennis. Hit the like and subscribe. Put your comments below. Let me know which one that you choose, or if you've used them yourself in the past. Until the next video, bye for now.